Okay, this tutorial is about how to find the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and range in SPSS. So I've entered some fake data here, and in this scenario, let's pretend that I'm a therapist and I have 5 clients seeking treatment for anxiety. So I have client A, B, C, D, and E, and I've entered their anxiety scores on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 meaning a lot of anxiety and 1 meaning really none at all. So I've entered their scores for before treatment, and I've labeled that as anxiety pre. Then I've entered their scores for the end of treatment, and that's anxiety post. So since this is all fake data, I've made everyone successful, and the treatment has worked really for everybody to reduce their anxiety scores. Now let's summarize this data using descriptive statistics. So what I'm going to do is go to Analyze in the SPSS statistics bar here, and I'm going to Descriptive Statistics. Within Descriptive Statistics, I will ask for frequencies. There are a lot of different ways to get to the descriptive statistics. We're going to just use the simplest, but there's certainly other ways to get the same information. So here I'm going to list the variable that I want to summarize. Let's do this one at a time. I'm only going to summarize the post scores. So I'm going to click on anxiety post, and I can either drag or click over that variable. I'm going to the statistics option here, and I have lots of information I could ask for. I'm going to ask for the things that we have already discussed. So under central tendency, I'd like the mean, the median, and the mode. And under measures of dispersion, I'm asking for the standard deviation and the range. And if I hit OK, then that brings me back to the original box, and now I can go ahead and choose OK. I will have an output file pop up in front of my data. Sometimes people think that they've lost their data. Let me just show you that if you pull it down, your data is still there. It's just hiding behind this new screen. So let's take a look at what we have. We have 5 cases, or an N of 5. We have a mean of 3.8, a median of 4, a mode of 4, a standard deviation of 1.48, and a range of 4. And I would encourage you to enter this same data into Excel and use the commands that you know in Excel to compare the data, and you should find that the calculations are basically the same. Now I will also see here a list of all of the cases. So in this case I have, you could imagine making this into a distribution or a histogram chart where I have one case of a 2, I have one case of a 3 on the anxiety scale. I have 2 people who had a 4 on the anxiety scale, and I had 1 person who had a 6. This can be useful, for example, if you want to say, well, let's say that maybe a score of 5 or lower might represent a person who really isn't bothered by anxiety in a troubling way. So we might say, for example, how many participants actually got their anxiety reduced to a completely functional level. And by looking here at the cumulative percent, I can see really 80% were below 5 or under the cutoff of dysfunctional anxiety. And that can be a useful way to summarize your data as well, to look at these percentages. So that's one way to get to this information. We'll see some different ways as we go along, but that's all for now.